and loss adjusting, and we've invited Brett back today, and I've just got to bring up Brett's logo first before he comes on. Here's Brett's logo, and welcome along, Brett.
Good afternoon, Mike, and good afternoon to your viewers. How are you?
Very well, mate. It's really hot and muggy here in Queensland. I am in my upstairs office sweating. It's very pleasant in Melbourne.
It's a pretty damn impressive looking office you got there. I reckon Vladimir Putin wouldn't say no to that.
Thanks, mate. I could play a few tunes on the piano for you if you like.
No, very nice. Very nice.
So we've invited you back this week, mate, to tell us a little bit about some loss adjusting terminology. Yes. And I've randomly picked two, and I'm sure you've got them there on a note in front of you and you could rattle it off from your memory. But can you go through them for us, please, Brett?
Well, one of them is my favourite. It's a term that first came across me many years ago called subrogation. And I just think it's a great term. And it basically means one insurer's right to exercise recovery against another insurer. It's most commonly used in motor vehicle. That'd be I guess the basis that people would have experienced it the most, but it applies to any class of insurance, really, liability. And it has some pretty serious connotations. You must not contractually sign away your insurer's right to subrogation. But in pretty simplistic terms, it just means when your insurer might pay a loss that you are not deemed to be at fault at in the event of a motor vehicle, and they seek to recover that money that they paid by the claim, they will pursue those funds or recover those funds from the insurer for which the person was deemed to be at fault. So they call that subrogating.
Okay. And insurance companies have whole departments dedicated just to recovery.
They do. Yeah, no, it forms a big part of their bottom line and their overall loss ratio. And some are more aggressive than others. I mean, I won't name names, but there are some in the industry that are known to be just not only tenacious, but quite aggressive in their approach. And yeah, as you allude to, it's a big industry. And it's again, I refer back to motor insurance. It's a huge part of motor insurance, but pretty much applies to all classes of general insurance.
Yeah, I had a motor vehicle accident once, and it really disappointed my insurer because the other vehicle was the same insurer. So,
yes, no, they get all excited. It's funny you say that. They get all excited, and I've worked for a couple of motor insurance myself. We get all excited until you find out the other party's one of your own. It's like, okay, we are wearing the loss then.
Okay, and the other term, please, Brett.
The other term being estoppel, which probably has more application in legal, but like a lot of terms, is very much a crossover term. And it essentially means either an injunction or not in a legal proceeding. If there's an estoppel involved, it means that a process can't be withdrawn from or evaded without the sort of natural course of action taking place. So it's a little bit of an unfamiliar term, but I guess people are probably more familiar with the term, say, injunction or obstruction. But it basically just means if something were to take its natural course of action, one being a party can't make either an unreasonable, unjust or lawful, say, objection to a matter just for the sake of it to disrupt the process, basically.
Fantastic. And Brett, are you monitoring things that are happening up in North Queensland? Because it looks like some towns have been hit heavily by floods and rain up there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I look at various services on what's happening in Queensland on a daily basis and have done so for some time. And it really never ceases to amaze me. I mean, it's interesting when you compare the size of Queensland to, say, areas of Europe and just the massive land there, and to think that one state, almost 12 months of the year, can simultaneously be suffering flood and bushfire. It really is extraordinary. But yes, there are some serious weather events going on, several of them in Queensland, as you would know better than I, but absolutely keeping abreast of them, yeah. I mean, Queensland must have some of Australia's most resilient people. They really must.
Mate, if you stick around to the end of this program and have a look at our police officer at the end, you are going to be proud to be Australian, and you are going to enjoy. It goes for some 6 minutes, but please stick around and watch it, and we'll have a chat after that. Actually,
well, I enjoyed some I will do, because I enjoyed some of your content before coming on today, so I'll definitely have a look at that, mate.
Now, we've had exciting news at the Australian Security Academy this week, where we've been approved for the brand new 2020 version of the Diploma of Loss Adjusting. We're just starting to get that out there, and you wrote to me earlier this week and said you'd be interested in coming on board. So we'll probably be doing a fair bit more of this, mate, but specifically for loss adjusting coming up in the future. That'd be great.
Excellent. No, well, I look forward to that. And congratulations, because that is an achievement to be first on board. So well done, mate.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about it. Thanks, Brett. Thanks for coming in, mate. I've got to go and have our question of our week. If you've got time, stick around. If you haven't, we'll talk on the email later on.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Brett.